Welcome back to Preneur Life. Today we're going to be talking about the circle of death. What is the circle of death when it comes to your money? How do you even get out of it? Today we're going to talk about it. Welcome back, Preneurs. I'm excited about this conversation with you. Why? Because you might have a thing right now that you're literally doing that's putting you in this thing called the circle of death. See this tombstone right here? Beautiful art, right, by the way. Right? I'm excited to actually have a conversation with you because these are the top 7 circles of death that maybe that you're stepping into right now that can actually position your money to be going out versus coming in. Let's kind of go right into it. The first one of the top 7 is parties. Okay, so parties. So what are you doing right now? Are you going out? Are you hosting parties? Are you going out on parties? You'd be kind of interested in this. Look at this. When you actually host a party, there's what has to be purchased. If you have alcohol, drinks, food, maybe materials that you also have to acquire. The average person right now that goes out to a party or goes out to a lounge, goes out to a kickback or anything along that, or a gathering, literally is going out 2 nights a week right now. That's the average person right now in America. Kind of interesting. And how much money is being spent? $81, okay? A night is being spent. That's 2 nights a week, $81 each. And the real question is, are you rewarding yourself without no advancement? So what's happening right now, if you're a part of the circle of death and you're stepping into parties, is because you're rewarding on a weekly basis 2 times or more a week, but there's no advancement. There's no reward for what you've done for the prior week. You just keep giving yourself rewards for no what? Advancement. So that positions you in the circle of death. That can be killing you in regards to what your finances look like. Let's go to the next one. Eating out. All right, this is my issue. This is a big issue for me. Let me tell you why. I have no problem going on DoorDash, Uber Eats. I mean, I got them all. Like literally, they're like on my first page. Just click, boom, they know all my credit card information, all that stuff. It's very simple. I get dinged with notification nudges, like literally every 5 minutes. Like Uber Eats is really good. They'll be like, oh man, aren't you hungry right now? I'm like, yes, you know what? I am kind of hungry. I am a little bit hungry right now. And so eating out is a big deal. All right, maybe you don't have that problem, but it is for me. I fall in the circle of death when it comes to this for sure. But we look at this, the average American right now is spending $3,484 a year, okay? I'm pretty sure I'm tripling that. But a year when it comes to this, $67 a week. Like I'm getting messages right now on my phone saying, hey, you want to eat out? I'm getting Yard House right now as I speak and do this video with you. So what's my point of bringing this up? Lack of physical activity actually happens by eating out too much, okay? That's the problem. Also nutrition. Right? Another big problem from eating out too much is overweight and obesity. Another big problem is actually you are more intact to step into tobacco use and substance abuse as well. Kind of interesting fact when you did that research. Another one is mental health. Mental health is such a big issue today. I think the stat was that 1 out of 4 people are actually considered mentally ill right now. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. And eating out has a lot to actually contribute to that fact as well. Another big problem is immune systems. With everything going on with COVID, the new variants, people getting the flu-rona, they call it now, and everything else that is being created, unfortunately. Immune systems are breaking down, and eating out has a lot to contribute to that. But the last one is energy, especially if you're a leader, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're a business owner, or just a family man, a family woman, someone that just wants to get after each and every day. You need a lot of energy. And unfortunately, eating out can put you in a place where you might need to go take a nap. You need to have to go escape from your office and go into the car and take a 15-minute nap just so you can recharge yourself. Why? Because you probably ate some food that had a lot of chemicals and things along those lines that did not contribute to your energy. Eating out could position you into the what? Circle of death. Let's go to another one. How about a car? Okay, how about a car for yourself? Well, look at this. The average price of a car right now of transactions is $57,000, 262. Okay? That's crazy. And let me tell you what could position you in the circle of death when you talk about cars. Buying new cars, right? Why? Because buying new cars, right when you drive that car off the lot, what happens? You literally, the car depreciated, right? So therefore, you lost a lot of money based on what you just spent. Also, a big problem if it positions you in the circle of death is actually putting unnecessary modifications on your car. What does that mean? Like maybe you're buying rims. It's okay to get the 10s. Like, you don't have to get the 20s. It's all right. No one really cares, right? Maybe you put in speakers in the back or whatever that may be for you. The best navigation system, wrapping your car and all that. You're doing all these things, putting all this investment in something that's a depreciating what? liability. Every time you drive your car, it's breaking down, right? So what's my point of bringing that up to you? Are you doing these things right now? Because if so, that may put you in the circle of death, right? Let's go to another one. Shopping. Have an issue with that one too, especially my wife. I hope she's watching this video, by the way, all right? Love you, by the way, if you're watching. Shopping. Everyone loves shopping. Everyone likes to go and get a little retail therapy, we call it. So here's a little bit of facts for you. We say, are you living life on a credit? All right, are you living life on credit? Using so many credit cards and saying, well, one day we'll pay back on it. That could position you in what? In the circle of death. Let's talk about another one. Millennials. I'm in a millennial generation. Here's the age group of millennials. From 26 to 34 right now. You are spending, every time you go shopping in a day, you're spending on an average of $208. All right? Here's another crazy one. Gen Z. You're in the age group of 26 or younger. Now, if you look at it, you're spending about $92.13 a day every time you go shopping, which is pretty interesting because you're younger. You would think you would buy more than a millennial, but you're actually spending less. It's kind of interesting listening to that or researching that. Another one is Gen X. They're literally spending $189.13 a day, all right, which is in the age group of 35 to 44. And the baby boomer generation, which is the wealthiest generation we have currently alive today, which is the age group of 65 and older, they're spending $135.73. My point of bringing this up to you is, if you look at these different generations, whatever one that you're in right now, you want to look at your bank account and say, wow, am I really spending that much every time I go shopping? If I get an impulse to go and get some retail therapy for myself, whatever it may be, am I stepping myself into the circle of what? Of death. Let's go to the next one. Gadgets. Okay? New gadgets, right? So technology, like, I was pretty interested because I have an iPhone. And I was like, man, what's the average price of an iPhone today? The average price of an iPhone is $758. Okay, $758. And it's interesting, in 2021, we just said in 2021, but 2021, 1.94 trillion, not million, not billion, but $1 trillion was spent by all Americans in total of buying technology, buying new gadgets. That's a lot of money. So when you start breaking that all down, that means the average American is spending around $166 a month, okay? Which is about $1,992 a year. That's a little bit under $2,000 a year for new gadgets. Things that may be debatably obsolete in 1 year, 6 months, because technology is always what? Increasing, advancing. Something new is always going to be created. So, are you spending your money on new gadgets consistently? The new thing, I gotta get. And if you keep doing that, you're going to be positioned in the circle of death as well. Another one for yourself could be what? Salaries. Okay? Salaries. What does that really mean? That means you probably have an employer receiving a W-2 at the end of the year. The average median income per person that's receiving a salary is around $31,133. Okay? A family of two is going to be making around $67,000 for themselves. Which brings me to, okay, that income that's being received as a W-2 employee, there should be a raise every year, right? So after we take all the days of the year, the average raise per year on those incomes I just mentioned is 3%. Okay, literally 3%. So what does that mean? Well, the money that I'm working hard every day for is only increasing at 3% per year. Well then, if I look at inflation, the average inflation rate right now is 4.7%. Now, I mean, I don't know what time you're looking at this video. Currently right now, the rate's about 7% or more, okay? But the average in 2021 alone was 4.7%. So what does that mean? That's over 1.7% of the 3% raise that you got. So pretty much that raise got washed, is my point. Because the cost of living, all right, which is called COLA, so there should be a cost of living adjustment from this. So this should be raised, however, it has not increased. So what's happening is a lot of people are losing a lot of money. So if you're receiving this money right now that's increasing at a whole year at 3%, you take your money, your $50,000, your $67,000, your $31,000, your $250,000, whatever you're receiving as a W-2 employee, you pay your taxes. Now where are you going to put the money? You're probably going to put it in a bank account. Right now your checking account, average across, Google, let's Google yourself, it's 0.07% interest rate right now. Inflation is over 4%. Your money's not even growing at 3% in a whole year. And wherever you put it in a savings account is less than what? 1%? This is a bad situation right now. So what's my point? if you're in this situation, you may be in the circle of death, right? Which brings me to my last one. My last one right here is called debt, all right? Debt. Now, there is two types of debts, by the way. There's good debt and there's bad debt, okay? Today we're talking about bad debt. So when we start talking about debt, the average debt, all consumer debt, across the board right now is $90,000, as an average American, is $90,460. That's the average debt. What is consumer debt, so that we're all clear? That's credit cards, okay? That's your American Express, that's your Chase Signature, that's your Brex. Those are all different, credit cards you could be using. Student loans, your Navients, your Wells Fargo, all those different ones you may use for student loans. Medical expenses, which is actually the number one reason for bankruptcy today, and repossessions. So let's kind of break these four down, okay? So what does that mean? In credit cards, the average right now per American is around $6,100. If you want to be technical, $6,194, right? If you look at student loan debt, around $29,000. If you look at medical expenses, a little bit over $1,000. That's actually in collections right now on average. But it's interesting, when you start talking about repossessions, 1 out of 2 cars sold, one of those cars are going to go into repossession. Going to be repossessed. That's a big problem. So what is my point here? Out of these, are you in any of these four? If you're in these four, are you managing properly? Because if not, you can position yourself to be a part of the what? The circle of death. So when you start thinking about these 7 I just mentioned right now, you need to look at each of these 7. Why? Because these might be your thing, right? Eating out might be your thing. Buying new gadgets might be your thing. Going to parties might be your thing. Shopping might be your thing. Working for someone might be your thing. Whatever of these 7 might be your thing. But you need to look at it. What is the trend? What is the habit behind it? Even when things are bad, when things are good, are you still going to be purchasing these things? Because if you are, guess what? They have a hook on you. All right? They have a hook on you. All right? And that's a big problem because that could be producing death versus life to your goals and dreams that you may have as well. So with that, hopefully this video made some sense in regards to where you're currently at. And if you're managing your money properly, are you a part of these 7? If you are, let's make sure that we position you to start positioning you in what wealth you've been doing for decades, what leaders been doing for decades, and hopefully you're outside of this circle of death as well. Go ahead and tag another leader, tag another entrepreneur, tag someone who just wants to get better with their money coming into this year, and we'll see you guys on the next one.